started. And Dr. Beatty is going to kick us off.
Great. Hello and welcome to this Right Citation Manager seminar. My name is Dr. Kate Beatty. I'm an associate professor here in the College of Public Health in the Department of Health Services Management and Policy. I am also the lead of a large project within CARE Women's Health, which is the Center for Applied Research and Evaluation in Women's Health here in the college. And this is a presentation and seminar that is being hosted by our team. And what we do at CARE, our team specifically, is evaluate a statewide initiative, specifically in health department and family planning clinics, health department and federally qualified health clinics and their family planning clinics, to understand how a large initiative is impacting different aspects of the clinic and how that affects individuals who are accessing contraceptive services. So we use a lot of literature to understand what people have done in the past, to help support our writing of our dissemination materials. And we have spent lots of time looking at and developing our citation methodology. And so over the past few years, we landed on using Zotero, which is the software that we're going to be presenting today and sharing with you. There's lots and lots of different options out there, but we have chosen Zotero because it is free. For most of you, it'll be free. We use it at a low cost because we have so many citations we have and manage. It's really user friendly, as you'll see today, and it has really great features that help you when you're writing. So we'll be showing you Cite as you write, which is a lifesaver for those of you who have more than 2 citations in a paper. And it's an open source forum, so it allows folks to participate in the creation and development of it. And so in addition to myself, you'll see 4 of my colleagues, Jordan DeJong and Leanne Ventura are our 2 research project managers, and Kristen and Rakesh are amazing doctoral students and graduate assistants. So thank you for being here with us, and I will turn it over to Jordan.
All right, thank you, Dr. Beatty. And thank you again to everybody for being here. We're really excited that you're here. So today we are going to be talking with you about a wonderful free citation manager called Zotero and how you can use it for your research. This is going to be a higher level presentation. It's not going to be completely exhaustive, but you will get a really good introduction to the software. So we are going to be answering the question, what is a citation manager? We're going to identify why we've selected Zotero as our team's manager over the tons of other options out there. We're going to demonstrate how you can start building and organizing your Zotero library, and we're going to demonstrate how you can operationalize Zotero for your writing. The presentation will take about 30 minutes, and if you have questions, you can put them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end, or you can wait and ask at the Q&A section at the end. And now I will turn it over to Leanne to talk about what a citation manager is.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. In this section, we'll be discussing what a citation manager is. So I have a schematic here. The citation manager is a way to build, store, and manage your personal research library. Through a citation manager, you can pull articles from web-based search engines such as PubMed or Google Scholar, and then import them directly into your citation manager application. The citation manager app keeps track of all of the metadata and allows you to organize, annotate these resources, and also cite and write. So cite and write features allow you to link the citation manager directly to the Microsoft Word via a plugin, and then cite in any citation style that you need, such as AMA or APA. And prior to the seminar, you received a Zotero installation guide. So that guide includes instructions for how to get started with Zotero and also any other citation management software. So first you would open an account, and then you could download the web browser plugin, the Citation Manager app for your desktop, and then also the Word plugin. So with all of that said, I'll turn it over to Rakesh to discuss different citation management options.
Thank you, Leanne. Hello, everybody. So let's see different kinds of citation management softwares that are available for us. The first one that we talk about is Mendeley. It is a free reference manager and academic social network. It can allow you to make your own fully researchable library in seconds. It has options like cite as you write and read and annotate your PDFs on any device. It has a free account that gives you up to 2 gigabytes personal storage, permission to create 5 private groups for common sharing, and 100 megabytes of shared web storage across all groups. It has cite and write option that is available through a citation plugin for MS Word. The next software is EndNote, and ETSU's EndNote subscription is through Web of Science. The free online version can only be created with a university email, and without a university email, the free basic account will give you access for 30 days. And it provides about 2 gigabytes of storage for file attachment, and there is an option called a cite while you write to insert in-text citations. The third software is EasyBabe. It is an intuitive information literacy platform that provides citation, note-taking, research tools that are like very easy to use and educational. This software is not only accurate, fast, and comprehensive, but helps educators teach and students learn how to be effective and organized. The free version only provides MLA citations and checks first 5 errors. The full version costs about $9.95 a month, and it's free for schools that sign up for this software. The next software is ReadCube Papers. It is a technology company developing software for researchers, publishers, academic, and commercial organizations. It costs about $36 a year for subscription and only available as a web-based platform. There is a cite and write option as well, and it allows up to 5 shared collections. The next software is Citavi. It is a reference management program for teams that gives you the option of storing your information on your own server instead of the cloud. Individuals can also choose between local and online projects. It has various payment plans for students, researchers, and organizations. There's up to 4 shared collections. Organizational features are available through Microsoft Cloud. So now we learn a little bit about Zotero. So Zotero is a free tool that helps you collect, organize, cite, and share your research sources. There's 300 megabytes of free space allowed for each user, and there are payment options for additional storage. But Zotero groups can use storage for no additional charge. That means if one of the group members buys a storage, other group members can utilize the storage space. Libraries from other citation softwares can also be imported in a .ris format, and it has open access and community forums for help. This is a web and desktop-based citation management tool. When used in a desktop browser, this software automatically senses the content in your web browser and allows you to add it to your personal library. You can organize your research and sort items into collections and tag them with keywords. Zotero instantly creates references and bibliographies inside Word and Google Docs. Data syncing and library sharing is also available. The good thing is you will be able to access your library even after leaving ETSU. Now I will turn it over to my colleague, Kristen, who will demonstrate how to add an article into the Zotero.
Hey everyone. So now that we know what citation managers are and why we as a team have chosen Zotero specifically, let's jump right into building up our library. So If you weren't able to complete that installation, the steps in the installation guide before the presentation today, that's okay. We're definitely going to be utilizing some live demonstrations and some screenshots, so you'll be able to familiarize yourself with Zotero. Jordan also just added the link to the installation guide so that you can follow that after the presentation if you'd like. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to, there we go, share the screen. Can everyone see? Perfect. All right, so before we jump into it, we need to make sure that Zotero is up and running on our PC. So this is Zotero. And if you haven't had the chance to look at it or familiarize yourself with it, this right here in the middle is the main panel. This is where we as a team have added over 1,000 items to our library, our shared library. So it's a ton of stuff. And over here, we've kind of divided those 1,000 items into different folders and collections. And Leanne's going to talk about that a little bit later. But I also want to touch on, again, kind of like what Rakesh was saying. We share this library right here, this clinic study literature library, but I also have a personal library. It's hidden right up here. So I can add anything to my library or the shared library, and anything that I add down here in the shared library doesn't count towards my 300 megabytes of space. So it's great to use. So today we are going to be working in this folder right here, the Zotero seminar folder. And as you can see, we have already added a few articles in here. So let's go ahead and jump right into adding one through our plugin. So today I'm using the Chrome browser. And if you haven't been to the library website recently, they have recently updated it. So it looks a little bit different. Today I used PubMed, but really you can use any of the databases here, and Zotero is going to be able to import pretty much anything. If there's an open access PDF, it's going to import that automatically. I also sometimes use Google Scholar, again, open access PDF, it's going to import. So today I'm going to show you the plugin. So it looks a little bit different depending on the web browser you're using, or maybe even the version of the web browser. And I have it right here in this extension with the puzzle piece where it's right here. So for the sake of expediency, I have already pulled up an article that we're going to import. So it's real simple. You just click on the little puzzle piece, click on Zotero connector, and it's going to automatically know to import into that library, the Zotero seminar library folder, because I clicked on it earlier. And you can see that it's importing the PDF and just this PubMed central link too. So let's go into Zotero and double check that it's in here. And it's this one right here. And when you highlight it right here, all of the bibliographic information is going to show up right here in this right-hand panel. And so it's under this info tab. It also has notes, tags, and related tabs up here. And again, Leanne's going to touch on those in a few minutes. So all of this bibliographic information can be changed if something doesn't import correctly, or maybe it's a website and not a journal article. It's all very easy to change. As you can see, you can just kind of click on the field and you can change the item type. It can be web page, dictionary entry, whatever your heart desires there. And let's say for me, the all caps thing always bugs me. So it's real easy to change. Just type it, click on the field, type in the new entry, and then click out of it, and then it automatically saves. So that's, I mean, real straightforward, real simple to do when you're using the plugin. So now I'm going to show you how to import something manually. Again, very straightforward. It's just this little green button right up here, the plus button. And again, you can kind of create an entry for any of these items right here. And depending on the item you select, it'll change the bibliographic information over here. So again, for the sake of expediency, I have already chosen what we're going to be manually importing. And it's this Guttmacher policy review article right here. So I'm going to go ahead and split my screen make it a little bit easier to see. There we go. So click the green button. I know that it's a journal article. And so it's going to create this blank entry right here with the blank bibliographic info on this side. And really all I do is I copy and paste. If it'll let me, there we go. So it's real straightforward, real easy to do. Oops. There we go. And then let's see here and put in the date, 2021. So whatever information is over here, you can see, you can just type it right in. And to save it, you just click out and then it's automatically saved. So real easy to do. I've shown you how to use the plugin, and I've shown you how to add things manually. Very straightforward, very easy to do. You can add all kinds of things in here. So now that we know how to do that, I'm going to pass it back over to Leanne, who will be discussing how to work inside your Zotero library.
Okay, thank you, Kristen. We'll now go into operationalizing the Zotero library. There are several features which assist you in utilizing the library for your academic writing, and that includes collections, notes, and tags. So to demo this, I'll just go over here to the Zotero library. And as you can see, what Kristen and Dr. Beatty have mentioned, our main library, the clinic study literature library, has a ton of items. And so it's really a lot to go through, and to make that easier to manage, we can break it up into collections or different folders. And as you can see, those are here on the left menu bar. So within the main library or these collections, you can order the materials by title through clicking title here, and then it's alphabetically sorted. You can also sort by the creator. So if you're searching for a specific author, that is alphabetically sorted. And so with the collections, you can add items by highlighting the article and then just dragging it and dropping it into the folder that you want it to be put in. And you can add collections by right-clicking on the library and then hitting new collection, and it just pops up this box where you put in the title of the collection. And these collections may contain a body of literature. So here we have a body of literature about telehealth, and this is 137 items, all pertaining to telehealth. So telehealth policy, we have rural and urban articles about telehealth, we have implementation articles of telehealth, and contraceptive care. So to make these 137 articles even easier to manage, we broke it down further. So here in this type of structure, we can really review bodies of literature quickly and efficiently. And something that we do is have auxiliary Excel matrices where we highlight a brief summary of those articles and also some key points. And so what we can do with that is add some notes to the articles. And so as you can see here, there is a note about what this article is about. And so we can go through a collection quite quickly just by reading the notes. to add the notes, for example, this article doesn't yet have a note. So you just click on the article and go over to the right tab that's notes and then add it here. So for this article, we can add a key point, which is cost of methods is not the sole driver of contraceptive non-use. And then again, just click out of that and it saves automatically. A note about syncing is that this syncing bar tells you if and when the article is syncing between our teams. So through clicking on this, it's telling me it's syncing, and then when it stops, it's already updated. So the next feature is tags, and tags. So while notes are always added manually, sometimes tags are added automatically depending on where you download the article from. So here, this article had some tags already imported, but again here there was no tags imported. So I have added these tags, and all you have to do to add a tag is click the add button and go ahead and start adding. And then sometimes a drop-down menu appears with different options. So that is the tags feature. And you can go ahead and search with all fields and tags and say, I want to search for LARC. It will pull up in this collection articles about LARC. Excuse me. I'll now turn it over to Jordan for discussion about citing and writing.
Thank you, Leanne. So I am going to chat with you all about what is probably my favorite feature of Zotero, which is cite and write. It basically does all of the heavy lifting for you for citing both in text and references. It's absolutely wonderful. It makes the process of managing your citations when you're in the writing process so much easier. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. Is everyone seeing my screen? Excellent. Okay, so let's imagine I have completed my literature process. I've gotten all of my literature into Zotero. I'm ready to put pen to paper. So here on the left, I have my outline for what I want to write. Here on the right, I have started writing. So if you follow all the steps in the installation guide, it will help you get to this Zotero addition to Microsoft Word right here. This is how the two communicate. And you need to make sure Zotero is open on your computer when you're utilizing this feature, or else it won't work. So what I'm going to do is go up to this tab Zotero and make sure my cursor is where I want to add my citation. It is. So I'll select Zotero, and then I'm going to select Add Edit Citation. And then this nifty little dialog box pops up. And what you want to do is search probably either the title or author of the article that you're looking for. So for my first citation, I'm looking for Bornstein et al. So I'm going to type in Bornstein, and Zotero is going to search all your collections for any article that utilizes these keywords that you type in. So you can see Zotero found it right here. I will select it and I will hit enter, and there you go. It cited it for me. Isn't that exciting? So let's do a couple more for good measure. I've got, yep, there we go. I've got, when did that happen? Hold on. Okay, I want to add my citation here. Okay, so I have two articles I want to cite right here. And Zotero knows exactly how to handle that for you. So I'm looking for Beeson 2014. And then if you want to cite two or more articles in one space, all you have to do is hit the handy space bar, search for your next article, and then boom, hit enter, and it will cite both for you. We'll add one more. And I'm not sure what's doing that. Did I have my cursor in the right place? I hope I did. We'll see if I didn't, because it will add it in a strange place. Okay, there we go. So now I have added my 3 citations and I want to add my reference list. So Zotero will do that for you, which is wonderful. So make sure your cursor is where you want to add the reference list, and then you're going to go over here to add edit bibliography. I'm going to select that. And look at that, it's got my 4 articles right there, all for me. Again, as we've said before, just double check that Zotero imported all your bibliographic information correctly. And assuming that's all good in Zotero, it's gonna be all good in your Word document. But let's pretend that I've been working on this paper and I realize, oh shoot, I'm citing in the wrong style. That is not a problem. Come up to Zotero tab and you want to go to document preferences. So I've been citing an APA, but let's say I want to do AMA. I'm going to select that, hit OK, and it updates that for you. So you don't have to go through that tedious process yourself. And okay, now let's pretend, you know what, I want to restructure this introduction. So I'm going to move citation 4 up to citation 2. See, it hasn't updated yet, but that is because you need to just hit refresh. And as soon as you hit refresh, it will update that reference list for you in your preferred style, which is great. And then the last thing I'll say about cite and write is that if you're working in a group and you're all writing in different Word documents, if you're all using Zotero, when you go to merge all those documents and you hit refresh, Zotero merges those citations for you. So you don't have to worry about manually managing all of that citation merging, which is just great, in my opinion. It takes, tons of time off your plate and you can really focus on the writing. So that is the gist of cite and write, and I'm going to turn it back over to Rakesh to wrap us up.
Thank you, Jordan. So we have seen quite a few demonstrations and how to add a article into Zotero, how to cite and write, how to use tags and everything. So Zotero is our team's preferred citation management software because even though there are many softwares that have similar functions, this is user-friendly and has additional organizational options. And the good thing is one team member can purchase the additional storage space and all other team members will be able to utilize the storage to add and utilize the library. As we have seen, the cite and write has been demonstrated successfully and it is very user-friendly to do so. So if you have any questions, we are happy to take them.
We did get a good question in the chat. Leanne and Kristen, you all might be able to speak to this. This question is from Jessica. What if there are changes or redactions to an article after downloading it to the library?
So I would say to go ahead and find the article online. So if you know that there were changes or redactions, go back to your search engine and search for that article and then go through the process again. And what you'll do is Zotero will tell you if there's a duplicate item. So here we do have a couple duplicates. So you would click on the title of the article and it will highlight both of them. And then you can say merge 2 items. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. Okay. Can you see that? Okay, so here's the duplicate items. And then you click here on the title and it will highlight them and you can merge those 2 items. So that will make one new item and then you'll actually have both of the PDFs there. So let's see, when you click the drop down, you can see what's included in that entry. And so here there's a PDF and a snapshot. But if it merges the two items, like here, it has two PDFs and two snapshots. But you can manage that by highlighting the PDF and right-clicking, and then just move an item to the trash. So there's a couple of different ways to go about it. You can try to add manually. So if you click on an existing item, you can right-click and then add attachment. And you can go ahead and attach a stored copy of the PDF file here. So if you have that new updated document, you can add it via just a folder on your computer. So there's a couple of different options there.
I will also say if it's an article that has been redacted, if it's an open source PDF or an open source article, Zotero does catch those occasionally. I'm not going to say all the time because I'm sure there are times when it doesn't, but I have had articles that are like basically flagged that say this article has been redacted. It hasn't been for the change, like if there are any changes, but the redactions I have seen and it'll alert you.
Great, thank you, Leanne and Kristen. Melissa asked, can you show us how to create a group library? Leanne, I think you might have done this a number of times. Can you give us a little demonstration?
Okay, so if you go to your zotero.org, it will give you your profile. So there's also the web library, and that's your library, but on the web. And then you can click on groups, and the groups tab shows you what groups you're in, and then gives you the option to create a new group. So there you go. It's quite easy. Just new group. Create the group. And so you have different options about membership. And what you would probably do is a closed membership. So this one means that you can add group members. That name's not available. Okay. In any case, that is how you create the group, and then you can manage your groups by clicking on the group, and we added a little ETSU icon and an about section. It tells you who the owner is, shows you the group library here, and then if you go to group settings, member settings, you can go ahead and add people and update roles, so people can be administrators or members. I don't think that really makes a big difference because the person who's the owner owns the space or like holds the space for that library. So that is opening a group and managing it.
Awesome, thank you, Leanne. Okay, we got another question. I don't know if you covered unified items earlier. Can you touch on this? This might be a Leanne or Kristen question. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by unified items. Leanne, do you know, or could we get a little clarification from Adeola?
Hello, everyone. So on the left of the Zotero under group library, there's a part that I usually see unified items. I don't know what it means. It's usually under duplicates. Yes. That's it. I don't
Okay,
know.
so I think these are unfiled items. So
Okay.
they actually tell you which files are already in one of these collections.
Okay.
So if we wanted to organize every single article within the main library, we could go here to see which articles are unfiled and then either create new collections or go ahead and add them to existing collections. And one note about adding to collections is that if the article is not in the collection, it will be highlighted. But if the article is in the collection, it won't be highlighted. So here we already have a framework for the study of access to medical care in this seminal work folder, but it's not in this one. So that's just a little nuance.
Great, thank you, Leanne. I hope that was helpful. I learned something new from that question, so thank you very much. Okay, one more question in the chat from Georgette. What is the most efficient way to incorporate work that is completed manually into Zotero for the purpose of ongoing field work? That is a great question, which I am processing. Kristen, or
Can you give
Sorry.
us a little bit more context for that question, Georgette?
Okay, so I completed part of, I should say, the initial part of my field work, sort of introduction, and I didn't use Zotero. And so I would like to organize it in Zotero at this point. And I just want to find out what's the best way to be able to do that.
Is it already in a citation management software?
Yeah, it is.
So I would say you can import it. So if you download the library, you can download and import. So I haven't actually had much experience with that, but it's something I can get back to you on and do a little how-to. I've done this on other platforms, so it just would be downloading it maybe into a .text file or something like that. But I couldn't show you right now, and I'm happy to get back. So if you could put your email in the chat, I will do that today.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So basically, when your library is created in your Zotero folder in the computer, there will be a .rs file format with the name library. So it happens with the same. It happens the same with all citation management software. So if you go into your citation management software library folder, you'll find a .rs file format. You just have to import that file into your Zotero software, and it will pull up all the articles that you have in a different software into Zotero. I hope that's helpful.
Not sure if I fully followed you. So yeah.
And
actually, I look at the instructions.
Elaine, if you just want to quickly click on the, if you can share your, you're sharing your screen. If you click on the file, On Zotero, there's file, yeah, the menu. And then you see import. Before the import, you can see export library. Let's start with the export library. And that should be able to export, yeah, so you take export files, and you can change that to you can take the RIS. No, instead of CSV, you can take the RIS. Let's change the CSV to RIS, and then select export file. Yeah, then say okay. Yeah, you can select where you want that saved. Could be on a desktop or anywhere. So once that is done, let's say you're opening Mendeley, for example, you have to go through the same way, go to File, select Import, and that will automatically import all your files to the other citation manager. But I hope that helps. I don't mean to hijack your train, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
That's super helpful. Thank you, Sylvester. We, I guess, have not done that yet because we've been very confident in our Zotero abilities, but I'm glad that, as I think Rakesh touched on earlier, and we just went through, it is super simple once you know how to import your library to not have to go through every single piece of literature you've collected and import it all again. So thank you for some great questions. Any other questions while we are still here?
Has any one of you used Mendeley before and then switched to Zotero and then found Zotero is better than Mendeley?
I have not used Mendeley. I've only used Zotero, but I think I saw Rakesh nodding. I think he may have used some other softwares.
Yes, I have used EndNote and Mendeley in my previous school, and I wouldn't say it's a lot different, but the good thing is EndNote is basically from a school subscription. So if your school is subscribed to that, then you can use it for free, or else you'll only have access for like 30 days. And after that, you won't have your library. You won't be able to use it. And I think it's the same with Mendeley as well. If your school has subscribed to it, it's free for you. And after you don't have access to your school email, you won't have access to that library. But for Zotero, it's like, even if you don't have access to your university email, you could still have access to your personal library, and you can still use it without a university email for free. Like the 300 megabytes of space will be free for any user, and all shared collections would be free for you, like if one team member has access to it.
Yeah, I think those are the advantages.
I would say it's easy. Yeah, I would say that that's more accessible than other softwares. But the user-friendly thing is pretty much same between Mendeley or Zotero.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Another note about that, when I was completing my MPH, I worked with some public health professionals that weren't affiliated with a university. And so they used Zotero because their emails weren't .edu. And so it was actually very much applicable to the public health sphere because of those limitations with other citation managers. And I think that helps. So if you're working on a project as a student, you can expand your reach through keeping all of your files on this platform.
Lots of great questions. Any other questions before we wrap up? All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. It has been wonderful to get to show you all the software, and I will turn it over to Leanne for some final info.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us for this. We will be sending you the recording of this and also a post survey. So we'd love to hear about your experience here today, and please stay in touch with us because it's a topic that we're very interested in and would love to continue to engage with you about this.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks a bunch. You too. Bye.